Welcome back to Explaining Everything, the channel where we dive into the stories and mysteries behind everyday things. Today's question comes from one of our sharp-eyed viewers, Techie Tom. Thanks for the suggestion, Tom. You asked, why do escalators have grooved steps? If you've ever stepped onto an escalator and wondered why the steps look like they were attacked by an industrial-sized hairbrush, you're not alone. Are they just a weird design choice? Or is there some secret engineering magic at play? Stick around, because today we're breaking down the real reason behind those grooved steps. And trust me, it's not just to keep your shoelaces on edge. Let's unravel the mystery right here on Explaining Everything. You might think escalator grooves exist purely for aesthetics, like an edgy haircut for mall transportation. But no, they actually serve a crucial purpose, and that purpose is, drum roll, preventing people from getting horrifically mangled. Yep, this is one of those inventions where safety came before style, thankfully. If escalator steps were smooth, they'd be like a moving treadmill of doom. People would slip, trip, and possibly perform an unintentional gymnastics routine before plummeting down the escalator like an action movie extra. The grooves help provide grip, keeping your feet firmly planted even when you're juggling shopping bags, a coffee, and the existential crisis of why you even came to the mall in the first place. Ever dropped something on an escalator and watched it disappear into the abyss of machinery? Those grooves are part of the reason your chapstick didn't cause a nationwide safety recall. Escalators are basically giant conveyor belts, and if they had smooth steps, all sorts of junk, gum, dirt, rogue French fries would build up between them. Grooves help guide debris into the gaps between steps so it doesn't jam the moving parts. And let's be honest, if they didn't, we'd probably have an annual escalator maintenance crisis where workers spend weeks chiseling out decades of chewed gum and pocket lint. Now, if you've ever stared at the bottom of an escalator, hopefully not because you fell, you've probably noticed a metal plate with thin, comb-like teeth where the steps disappear. That's called the comb plate, a name that sounds way fancier than it actually is. This little piece of engineering genius is designed to mesh perfectly with the grooves of the steps. Why? Because if the step edges were smooth, there would be a horrifying little gap where things, shoelaces, scarves, unfortunate fingers could get stuck. The comb plate and grooves work together like a well-oiled zipper, ensuring that nothing gets lodged between the moving steps and the floor. This is also why most escalator safety announcements tell you to stand in the middle and avoid the edges. It's not just mall security trying to harsh your vibe. It's to keep you from becoming a tragic news headline. Have you ever stepped on an escalator in wet shoes and immediately regretted all your life choices? That's because water and smooth surfaces are best friends in the worst way. Grooves help channel water away from the step surface, preventing escalators from turning into an impromptu water slide, minus the fun and plus the lawsuits. Think about it. Without grooves, a rainy day would turn escalators into high-speed slip and slides, and malls would have to employ lifeguards instead of security guards. Probably not the aesthetic they're going for. At this point, you might be wondering, if escalators need all this extra engineering, why don't we just use stairs? And to that, I say, have you ever seen an exhausted mall shopper? The escalator was invented for exactly this moment, when you're too tired to lift your own legs, but still determined to reach the food court. Escalators allow for continuous movement, moving large crowds quickly while letting people rest their weary feet. And while they do require some maintenance, hence the seemingly constant out of order signs, they're still more convenient than climbing 20 flights of stairs just to buy a pretzel. We've all seen that one person who treats an escalator like their own personal obstacle course, running up the wrong way, sitting on the steps, or attempting the forbidden slide down the handrail. But here's why that's a terrible idea, besides the fact that mall security will definitely intervene. Those grooved steps aren't just for show. They're part of a massive mechanical system with powerful motors and gears. And if you trip, fall, or get something stuck, you're not just facing embarrassment, you're facing the very real risk of getting caught in moving machinery. And trust me, nobody wants to be the person who single-handedly shuts down an entire escalator because their shoelace got devoured. So, as fun as it might look, just stand still, hold the handrail, and let the escalator do what it was designed for, transporting you safely with zero risk of starring in a viral fail video. So, to recap, escalator grooves aren't just for show. They help with grip, keep debris from turning the mechanism into a junkyard, prevent shoelaces from vanishing into the void, and make sure rainy days don't turn the mall into a scene from Wipeout. Next time you step onto an escalator, take a moment to appreciate those grooves. They might not seem like much, but they're silently preventing chaos, one ridged step at a time. And if you ever catch yourself wondering why they look like an oversized cheese grater, just remember, safety first, aesthetic second, and escalator surfing definitely never. And that, my friends, is why escalators have grooved steps. Now, go forth, ride in safety, and resist the urge to test how many things you can drop into those grooves before security shows up. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. And if you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for tuning in, and join us next time here in the channel that answers all the why, what, who, where, and how questions you've always wondered about, here on Explaining Everything.